Hi, I'm Madeline Murray. I'm the group lead for the protocols team at ConsenSys. The protocols team is the team that builds Go Quorum, which I'm here to talk about today. So thank you for having me along. I'm here to talk about Go Quorum, give a high-level overview of what Consensus Quorum is, some of the solutions that are live today, an overview of the features, and a quick how to get started. I'm going to share a slide deck. Hopefully everyone can see that now. So quickly to get started, this is a bit of the history behind Consensus Quorum. So back in 2013, Ethereum was announced and then launched in 2015. In parallel to that, Joe Lubin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, founded ConsenSys. And in parallel to this, JP Morgan launched Quorum for private permissioned Ethereum networks. JP Morgan went on to launch the IIN network and JP Morgan on Quorum networks, and ConsenSys launched the ConsenSys network in 2019. In 2020, ConsenSys acquired Go Quorum from JP Morgan, and the Consensus Quorum brand was launched. So why Enterprise Ethereum? So our strength, and no small part, comes from the Ethereum community. There's hundreds of thousands of developers that build on Ethereum. And by building on Enterprise Ethereum, we're able to be sure that Go Quorum users have access to the tools, applications, and software that work across the Ethereum ecosystem. Can't talk about this enough. So for businesses that want to develop on blockchain, working with Consensus Quorum gives you access to the massive community in the ecosystem and all the innovation of that community. So this is a few of the customers that are currently building on Consensus Quorum today. So across the different use cases, there's financial services, JP Morgan, MasterCard, supply chain with Covantis, Xbox, infrastructure, and then cross-industry groups such as Microsoft and EY. And then you've got blockchain as a service providers as well. So this slide unpacks a bit about what Consensus Quorum is, and Go Quorum that we're primarily talking about today, you'll see is the Ethereum, one of the Ethereum clients inside Consensus Quorum. So Consensus Quorum is the complete open source blockchain platform for businesses. It enables enterprises to leverage Ethereum for their blockchain applications. Businesses can rely on Quorum as the open source protocol layer and then integrate on top of it product modules from Consensus, other companies, or with your own house development, build high performance customizable applications. Some of the feature highlights of Go Quorum include immediate finality, secure privacy, granular permissioning, security features, enterprise integrations, and flexible APIs and plugin architecture. Diving into a couple of the features that are really important to enterprises using Enterprise Ethereum. So privacy. So privacy is about keeping transactions private between the involved participants. Other participants can't access the transaction content. So the Private Transaction Manager, Tessera, is an implementation of the Enterprise Ethereum EEA privacy standard, and Tessera uses off-chain communication and embeds a hash of the private transaction on-chain. So looking at the picture on the right, if Alice was to send a private transaction to Lisa, the two Tessera nodes associated with Alice and Lisa would communicate point-to-point and send the encrypted private transaction content from one Tessera to the other. Lisa would then put a hash of the private transaction onto the public chain. And when the hash on the public chain is processed by each of Lisa, Alice, and Bob, only Lisa and Alice can access the content of the private transaction. So permissioning in Go Quorum enables you to increase the security of your network. It enables you to define access at the node or account level. So the permissioning feature is implemented using smart contracts and can be managed with JSON RPC APIs. Node permissioning restricts network connections to known participants only, and account permissioning restricts the actions an account can perform, enforce onboarding or identity requirements, suspend accounts, or deny broken contracts. Additionally, Go Quorum offers organizational level privacy, which enables organizations to associate roles with a set of permissions. So I'm quickly going to mention a couple of the ways you can get started with Go Quorum. So on the consensus.net website, we've got a developer quick start you can use to run up a network locally and get started building things on top. Additionally, on the Consensus site, there's documentation links, how to get started with Ethereum, Discord server, and knowledge base. So that's the end of my overview. So we've got a link here out to getting started with Consensus Quorum. You can also always find us on the Consensus Discord. There's a Quorum channel in there.
Thank you, Madeline. So my name is Bill, and I'm working with the BSN International Technical Support. And I'm very happy here to talk about the blockchains and Consensus Quorum and to show you how it works. The BSN, or Blockchain-Based Service Network, is a public infrastructure network for blockchain technology. The BSN consists of 4 parts: public city nodes, BSN portals, frameworks, and NOC platform. So today we're concentrating on the frameworks. The BSN integrates different kinds of frameworks, so including permission frameworks, such as Fabric, as well as Consensus Quorum, and also public chains or permissionless frameworks, such as Ethereum, EOS, and NEO. And also we integrate interchange frameworks. So for Consensus Quorum, the BSN China has integrated this framework back in January 31st. And also for BSN International, we integrate Consensus Quorum on April 28th. So in the next section, I'd like to run a demo to show how easily it is to run a dedicated node service with Consensus Quorum framework. Okay, it is a demo for you to see how can I deploy the smart contract and run it. Thank you.
This is a demo of deploying and running the smart contract by using Quorum framework in the BSN dedicated node services. Firstly, log into the BSN International portal. Click Permission Services, Dedicated Node Services. And here we create a new project. Input the project name. The framework we use here is Consensus Quorum version 20.10.0. Now there are 2 consensus algorithms, Raft and Ibft. In Raft, a synchronization between the leader and other nodes is made to ensure that the order of transactions is the same for all nodes but for executing them. In Ibft, there is a single agreed upon ordering for transactions in the blockchain. So here we select Raft. The service is deployed on AWS Cloud Platform, and developers can select a region which fits their needs. So here we choose Hong Kong. The resource information consists of 2 parts: node information and gateway information. Developers can select number of peer nodes based on their business needs. As Raft can tolerate an F number of faulty nodes in n equals 2f plus 1, where n is the total number of nodes, so that we recommend developers to build nodes with odd numbers, such as 3, 5, and 7. Ibft can tolerate an F number of faulty nodes in n equals 3f plus 1, where n is the total number of nodes. In this way, developers need to choose at least 4 nodes in case there is a fault node among them. The Haas configuration reflects the how well you want to make the performance of the peer nodes. You can choose the different CPU and memory settings. And the next thing here is data capacity. It means that the space you're using to store the data. We now support up to 1024 gigabytes disk drive for each node. And the price here you can see is timely updated when you choose different resources. And here is the gateway information. The gateway node has a fixed price, and it contains an Nginx service and a blockchain browser. Okay, and this one here is the price of data usage. This is set to postpaid mode. So click next button, and you can check the costs of the resources. So if you would like to pay it by year, and there will be a discount. Once you have confirmed the cost by clicking the confirm button, you will be directed to Stripe website to finish the payment. Normally, it takes about 15 minutes to finish deploying the node. And here I have already deployed one so that we can directly use it. Click details. And here you can check basic information and resource information of the dedicated node you have just built. On the bottom is the deployment information list. And you can see all peer nodes and the gateway services are listed here. Okay, click details. You can see some parameters from access and credentials, transaction manager cluster, and default wallet, which allows the developers to deploy and invoke smart contracts according to different requirements. Here now we access to the blockchain browser. Normally it will ask you to fill in the authorized username and password, and have already done that so that we can access to the blockchain browser. And in the browser we can see the node information such as node status, number of peers, and blocks. And now I'm going to deploy a smart contract and insert data to the block. Okay, so I'm going to click sandbox here to open the sandbox page. And here we just select the smart contract from the contract library, the sample contract, which is called simple storage. So this smart contract allows me to store data and retrieve data. And I will firstly insert a number and then check if we can obtain that number. So firstly, I select simple storage from editor and input the number, for example, 111, and deploy the smart contract. Okay, so on the right side paper tape, we can see that this smart contract has been deployed. And let's move back, to the browser, and we can see that another block has been added, which means that the number 111 that we have just inserted has been successfully inserted into the block. Click read button to check if we can get that number, and here we can see number 111 is showing. So if I'm testing it, for example, to update this number to 999, and here we see that there is another block has been added, and we can get number 999, as the current status. So now we can say that the smart contract is successfully deployed and running on the Quorum framework in the BSN dedicated node services. Thank you for your watching.